Hi everyone, we're here at Tone Deaf in the Tiki Room with the one and only Melbourne melodist Ainslie Wills. How you going, Ainslie?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Enjoying the tiki decor here?
I'm loving the decor here.
Yeah?
Yep.
Not so much the heat though.
No, I actually feel like I'm sort of matching. I've got a bit of a
You got the floral, yeah.
tiki-inspired play suit on, so I
That's
feel
good.
like, you know.
We always like a prepared artist in dress.
I just knew that this was going to be here, the backdrop, so, you know.
That's right. So we're here talking because it's very exciting. Your debut album is coming out on March 4th.
Yes.
How are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling ready to let it go because it's been I started writing songs with Lawrence Folvig, who I collaborated on the album with. We started writing songs in 2009 and then, you know, just kept on sort of adding songs and recorded in 2011. And then we were going to release the album last year, but it just wasn't the right timing. So now it's finally here, and I just feel so good it feels good to just let it out and let some other people hear it, because I've been listening to it for quite a long time.
Yeah, because obviously it's been a long process crafting and putting together, and as you were saying before, it's also that you've lived with it for so long. So did you start hearing all those little details and all the little niggles, and now you can just be like, right, there it is. Yeah,
you kind of have to, like, once you've recorded, when we finished doing the mixing and the mastering, I sort of thought I'm not gonna listen to it for ages and just let it sort of sit and forget about it for a while, and then, you know, I'd come back and have a listen to certain things, and, you know, every time you go through the process, there's always going to be things that you're going to do differently next time, and I'm already sort of going, next time I'm going to do this and this and this and this, and I've started writing stuff for, you know, whatever the next release is. So so it's nice to just, you know, let it go, and other people can just, you know, love it, hate it, I don't mind. It's just as long as it's sort of taking on a different life now. Yeah.
That's great. So with the album title as well, You Go Your Way, I'll Go Mine. Mm-hmm. That's a reference to the Hey Dolly, the Barbra Streisand film?
Hello Dolly.
Hello Dolly, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, not many people really know that film.
It's an old 60s
it's
musical.
I was brought up on Barbra Streisand, lots of different musicals, because my mum was a massive Barbra Streisand fan. So I kind of am as well, and I was looking for a title. Initially, the album was going to be called like These Colours or something like that. It was just absolutely woeful. So it was just one of those moments. I don't know why I was thinking about the movie, but it cropped up. There's a scene in the movie where Barbra Streisand says to Walter Matthau, who's playing her male suitor, she said, you go your way and I'll go mine. She's secretly in love with him, but she, instead of pointing in opposite direction, she points in the same direction. And to me, that kind of summed up how Lawrence and I made the record. We sort of stuck to our guns and created something in parallel, with each other. So that's how the title came about. But I think it's good in a way, because some people go, is it like a breakup kind of vibe? You know, you go your way, I'll go mine kind of thing. But I like the fact that people can, you know, interpret it. They'll interpret it however they want. Yeah. So that's
obviously in reference to Lawrence Folvig, your guitarist and producer, co-writer, everything. Can you talk a bit more how that collaboration developed, that partnership?
Yeah, sure. We started playing music together after we finished uni. We went to Victorian College of the Arts and studied improvisation for 3 years, and we did a bit of playing in ensembles during uni, but and then after that we were sort of playing together, doing various gigs under my name, and I actually my first EP that I wrote and recorded in my bedroom in Carlton at the time, I got Lawrence to come and play a few things, you know, play some bass parts, and so that's where it sort of started. That's where we started making music together. But it wasn't until, you know, around about 2009, after we were playing as a 3-piece with a drummer. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until about 2009, after we'd played a few shows, that we started sort of thinking about writing together. And it's something that I'd never really done before, like writing with someone else. And Lawrence was in the same boat, and we were both control freaks. So it was kind of, in a way, we still held on to, like I was saying before, with the title of how it was made. We still sort of stuck to our creative processes individually, but sort of brought those ideas together. And
so you ended up going in the same direction.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
That's cool.
So, yeah.
And then coming to the album as well, it talks in your biography, you were talking about how you're in Blairgowrie, recorded it in winter.
Yes.
How did you stay warm?
Yeah, well, it was pretty easy. There was actually I was going to say that there was a fireplace in the actual beach house, but because we were recording drums there, we couldn't actually have the fire going all the time. We'd set up the drums during the day, record, and then have a fire at night. But it was absolutely stunning. I mean, I prefer cold weather to hot weather. So it was nice going somewhere like Blairgowrie and just sort of this beautiful house. It was, we took the whole band. So there's 5 of us, as well as Jono, who co-produced and engineered the album as well. And yeah, it was sort of bliss waking up, and we were in the kind of makeshift studio that we put together and soundproofed and stuff like that. And it was a perfect kind of setting, because I think it just takes the pressure off trying to, like, if you're in a studio, a proper sort of studio, which is amazing. It's great if you can afford to do that. A really shit hot studio is awesome, but it also puts the pressure on, I think, to really like make things happen. And you kind of like, shit, okay, I've got to do this. I've got to make this happen in this amount of time. We're going to be finished. Whereas we're in the house, our beds are surrounding us, so we were just like, let's go as long as we need to. And it was a really nice experience. I wouldn't probably go back into a studio now with technology these days, you don't really need to have a studio. So, and
hearing the finished product, I don't think you feel that distinction. If anything, it sounds and feels like a studio production could be. So, well,
that's good.
Yeah.
I
think in the long run, you cheated them.
Yeah.
You worked well. Yeah. And also with that, in the biography, you talked about specifically the Canadian artist Feist, about her album Metals influenced the production. Can you talk about that a bit more?
Yeah, I think when Lawrence and I sat down with John O'Steer, who recorded and co-produced the record with us, he was kind of saying, well, what do you want? What do you want it to sound like? And we were really, really aware of the fact that a lot of the songs were really completely, they're quite different to one another. I didn't feel like, it was necessarily at that stage before we'd recorded it, I didn't feel that all the songs maybe sat side by side. Mm-hmm. But then thinking about things like records like Metals and knowing that, to me that's a cohesive record, but it's kind of Feist's voice that is the cohesiveness through most of the tracks. And I think I just love the warmth of that recording of the Metals record. I just thought it was amazing, and sort of we were trying to go for that, I suppose, for the album. It was definitely an inspiring sound that we were aiming for. Whether we got there is whoever wants to say whatever about it they can, but that was the inspiration. There's lots of things. A lot of people try not to listen to anything at the point of creation or point of like recording, so as to not be sort of taken off the track. But that was a record that I was listening to a lot, so
with an influence.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting you say that about the voice, because I feel that you replicate that again on your album, that there is that cohesion across all the tracks, which is your voice. But then that's drawn a lot of different parallels. Like a lot of people have said it sounds like Tom York. Other people have said there's a Jeff Buckley influence. And then there's obviously Feist as well. Tori Amos. Are there some particular singers that influence you? Like, how do you feel about those comparisons?
Well, it's nice to be compared to people that you respect, and I definitely respect Feist and Tom York and Jeff Buckley. Jeff Buckley is probably one of my biggest influences, so it's nice for people to make those comparisons. But I suppose, and I can see why, when I listen to music for the first time, you do try and make some kind of connection. If it kind of sounds like this artist or whatever, you try and sort of wrap your ears around it, and and find meaning in it straight away and trying to contextualize it. But yeah, I mean, it's flattering to be at least it's not Britney or something like that they're comparing me to.
That'd be quite the
That would be like,
to be connected
oh
to
no.
And also now that the album is completed and it's out there, do you have moments that you listen back to the album that you're really proud of, or it's like asking who your favorite children are, but is there a particular song or moment on the album that still really inspires you?
Well, I would have to say the opening track, Mary, is probably, it was the hardest to make for me. I don't know how many demos I did of that song to try and make it sit, but to me, I think because of the intro to Mary, there's sort of an added intro that wasn't there at the time that I wrote the song, and I wrote the intro just before, I think it was must have been just before we were about to mix the album down, and just having the intro lead into the start of that song, that's probably one of my favourite moments. If there's lots of moments I listen and think, oh gosh, but yeah, no, I'm really proud of Mary in particular. Yeah,
that's why you put it front and centre.
Yeah. If you're not going to listen to anything else, just listen to this first. Yeah.
And obviously you're heading out for the tour now for the album as well, through April and May.
Yes.
Are there particular songs you're looking forward to actually getting on the road and getting performed? Yeah,
well, we've never done Weighing the Promises, which is the single that sort of has come out with the album, and will be coming out with the album. And so, yeah, we haven't yet played that live, and we've sort of been rehearsing some cover songs as well that we'll throw into the set. But yeah, it'll be nice to really focus on playing as many songs from the album as we can fit in, and just we've had enough time now to figure out what works in a live setting and what doesn't. So hopefully people enjoy the shows.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Ainslie. And
pleasure.
Everyone should go out and have a listen to the album because it really is going to be one of the good local releases this year, I believe. And you can check her out on tour as well. But thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Watch the winter this summer.